Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jason Jensen. Today's episode is actually part 2 of building our Sci-Fi Diorama. And the diorama is sort of a fueling station. It has different level landing platforms on it. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is building a small bar or countertop area where people walk up to it and maybe pay for fuel, buy some snacks, buy an air freshener for their spaceship. So here is the main countertop that's raised up. Now, I needed this to be kind of thick, so I had to join together 2 pieces of mat board. And if you've ever tried doing that in the past, you always end up with a thin gap that you can easily slide a piece of paper in there or 2 pieces of paper. And even after you paint it, after you paint it, it actually gets worse because the cardstock gets wet and it separates even further. A good trick to do is to make your pattern about 1/16 of an inch larger than what you want it. And then you glue it together, smear the glue all the way to the edges, put it together, put a book on it, let it dry. Then go back in and trim 1/16 off all the way around. I cut mine at an angle so that the countertop, it kind of bevels back. And I'll show you. It is completely solid. You can't get anything in between those 2 pieces. This sits on the floor. We have these wood pieces, thanks to my friend Doug, and those get put underneath it to support this. Then we have these panels that get put back there like that. Okay, this is where we're at so far. It's looking pretty cool. I'm excited. Now we just got to get the countertop glued in place. Okay, so I did take some 1/16 inch strip wood and made it kind of fancy and put that trim on the back side of it. Okay, let's put this in place where it's going to go. And I've installed a couple lights. And I had to drill a hole in the back. And then I had to cut an area up here for the cord to go through. And there's another light, but I took the cover off to be able to get the cord through down here. Let me turn that on quick. Okay, so I made this little elevator door out of mat board. And it's all in layers. So the first layer are the doors. Then the dark gray is a second layer. I then cut the exact same layer out of a third piece. And on the third piece, I cut little openings out for a control panel there, and maybe a little lights indicating that it goes up and down right there. So that's 3 layers, and then I put this layer here, which is our 4th layer, to match the border that we've already got going here. Now, this was the cutout. I want to put another one exactly like this up here. Now I need this to extend out. So what I did was I took a piece of wood and cut the extension. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill 2 holes. So I'm going to take a wooden dowel and run that through there just to give it some support, and then we'll glue it in place with liquid nails. Okay, I've got my piece cut to the shape I want. I've got 2 wooden dowels put in there. I drilled my holes in the side. Now we're just going to use liquid nails. Here's a close-up on that door. I am very, very excited about how this is turning out. Let me show you how I cut my walls. So here's the top layer. And then I have a second layer. And then I have a third layer. Now with this layer, your opening's a little bit bigger, so that this is the area we're going to use these for the doors, and that came out of our first layer. So you cut the pattern you want, and then I cut it a little bit bigger so that I can leave the doors slightly open. You could have it closed if you want. So then you just simply build your layers. It's that simple. And to get a nice clean cut, you always want to start from the corner. So you would pull back, not go all the way to the edge, turn it around, start from this corner and pull back, and take your time. Make 3-4 cuts. Don't try to cut it all at once. And always, even on these angled pieces, start in the corner. You could go halfway if you wanted to. Maybe 3 cuts, turn it around, 3 cuts, so that it's a nice clean cut. It gives you a nice clean edge. You don't want it to, say, go through like that. Now I'm going to use full strength Elmer's glue and glue these layers all together. And you want to smear it on the back, and then take a paintbrush and smear it evenly over the entire surface. Then glue them together. So I had a package of tea light candles, and they had these plastic, it's supposed to look like a flame. So I just popped those off, then made this little box out of mat board and put holes. We'll put these on the diorama and I'll show you where they go. Well, here's where we're at so far, and I wanted to show you where those lights are. I'll move this. So it just pops right in there. Same with the other side. They fit snug. I'll put a railing all around the edge of this little catwalk. And then I'll probably put a railing right here and another railing right there. Well, there's lots of painting and weathering to do, and I still have to paint all of this black down below and put in a lot more detail parts and wires and hoses. So we still have quite a bit left to do, but we're getting close. Wanted to show you what it looks like with some spaceships and figures put on it. Now eventually all of these ships and things like this here will all get painted and weathered. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am having so much fun working on this diorama. I did want to mention that all of the small parts inside the security cage area down here are parts from broken toys, old model kits, just whatever I can find. So they're not like printed parts or anything like that. In the next video now, in the last video, we're going to be painting and weathering this entire thing. And I'm so looking forward to that. And we will be painting it to match what I've already got done here. A lot of rust. I know there's not really rust in space, but in my galaxy, there's rust. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll show you different techniques on how we're going to do that. And then I'm also going to be adding wires and hoses, wires that drape down from under this pad to this pad. Just tons of wires and little parts. I have parts from model kits that I'll just be adding here and there for details. So, all right, well, thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and until next time, happy modeling, everyone.